Hi there. I just came back from the laundromat and I'm about to fold a bunch of clothes that's here in my suitcase. I had a nice little walk. I climbed up the 3 flights of stairs and I'm a little out of breath for an oversized person. But I want to share with you some wonderful thoughts that I have been having on my way. I do get a lot of good inspiration when I'm uh, exercising, so that's good. Anyway, that's something to note. Um, this has been on my mind for a long time. I basically believe that God is the king or queen or king, queen, or queen. That doesn't very queen of morality. God is the authority on morality. And I would dare to say that there, in fact, is no morality without God. All morality that a person would create would be merely subjective morality rather than true morality. Now, why do I say that? Um, I feel it's rather self evident, but I think it does require some logical reasoning if you were to explain it. And I think I've found the best way to actually explain that. So basically, it's actually incredibly simple. God, if there is a God, we would have to believe that it follows that God is the creator. We are suggesting, if you suggest there is a God, you are saying that this God is the creator. He or she, or he, she, as I like to say, not only presides over what occurs in the universe that God created, but has also created that universe. So this being has, one, created the universe, and two, presides over that universe. Now, that follows because if you've created something, then you have the understanding, you have the full understanding of that thing that you've created. Um, and here we would uh, intuit that God has perhaps an infinite amount of knowledge. Um, a penultimate. I don't know what the word is, but you know, a knowledge much vaster than we human beings that have a limited amount of intelligence. Um, I'm just considering how quickly I can make simple arguments into complicated ones. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say this. I feel like there's so much resistance. I feel a lot of blocks to saying this, but it feels very simple to me. Um, Basically, God has created this universe and presides over it and has full authority over it. And a human being, in that case, you know, would not have the same authority. Objectively, we can see that human beings have a relatively equal amount of intelligence. That is compared with, inferior animals, aardvarks and opossums and snakes and squirrels and fish that don't have the same ability to uh, to intuit, to imagine, to create industrially. So we have a similar range of intelligence between all human beings, and our intelligence cannot match, can't even come close to the intelligence of a perceived creator. Um, so, what we have in the atheist circles are people who would like to create a morality. And this morality they come to by consensus, and that's really important, um, with the underlying belief that they themselves and all of creation is, based on your perspective, a happy or unhappy accident. Those who believe that this creation is, mostly suffering probably think it's an unhappy accident. Those who think that it's filled with wonder probably are on the side that it's a happy accident. But an accident just the same, indicating that there is no God. And under that belief system, under that religion, I would dare say, you would have to set up your own morality. And you can set up your own morality for yourself. You can, make principles for yourself that you then live by. Or you can come together with a body of other people in a group and agree to principles and tenets that you've come to, agree to together, and being redundant. But by that standard, your morality is arbitrary. Your morality is changeable. I mean, ignoring for a moment the fact that, people who make their own morality or agree to their own morality in a group, may or may not fully live by that morality that they have made for themselves, and I guess another caveat or another tangent on that would be, God, I think it can be easily assumed, would have to live by her own principles. I don't see any problem with God living by God's own morality. And here I am 7 minutes in. I thought this was going to be a minute. I actually would say that I would say that morality was made for human beings. I would suggest that God has a personality, and God's personality, has guided him, her to, God's interest, God's desires has guided God to create the universe that he, she has created. And in this universe, the morality is really just for us. God has no problem being who God is. I feel I can safely assume. The morality was made for us. And this is a situation in which God, as the creator being, has full authority. My hair is crazy, or lack thereof. So really morality is a standard by which human beings live by. And you can say either that in an atheistic framework, you could say either that is a standard created and made by human beings and, agreed upon. The degree to which they follow it is another issue. Or you can say that morality is a standard created for us by God, the creator. And I feel very confident to stand on this principle that, there really is no morality with God, and God is the ultimate authority of morality. And you cannot say, I basically, my perspective is that all human beings are on the same level playing field. I don't care if you're a dwarf or a midget or, someone with Down syndrome. I believe even, if these are deformities, then at some point you can, these deformities can be healed, and you can be the whole person that you were destined to be, that God desires you to be. You can live, you can become, your potential. So basically, by that standard, I don't think there is anyone with, so-called sub-intelligence. Everyone has the same potential. Therefore, everyone is equal. Now, we are all different as far as our personality, I do believe. But I would not, basically what I'm saying here is that I would not say that any one human being has, authority when it comes to a moral system. At the end of the day, they've created the system, and how moral it actually is questionable. I would like to believe that there is a creator, that there is a God, and therefore this God is actually, you know, holds the full knowledge of what, morality, what the true morality is, and how we ought to really live our lives. Now, I don't believe that God is demanding on how we should live our lives, but I believe that God would like to educate us, in this free will framework where we have, the ability to make our own decisions as sentient, autonomous beings, free agent beings. God would like to educate us when we make a mistake, and that this life is a process of growth and education, as to what love is, as to what the truth of the universe and our own identities are. So, thanks for watching. We went on a very long time. I really wanted to say that. I think it's incredibly important, very important to me at least, and I hope you found something from watching. Take care.